You confident on that card? You want to hit the trunk? If you can get out, you can. Watch cross.
How does a daughter look into her mother's eyes and pull the trigger? That's the question that's haunted me since the night I first read the Southfield police report. A quiet street, a family home filled with toys, old photos, and love. And a mother, Ada Mae Simmons-Jones, who never saw it coming. She opened the door to her own daughter, and within minutes, she was gone. It happened too fast. In less than 3 minutes, one life ended and another shattered beyond repair. It was 11:30 p.m. October 5th. Bainbridge Drive was silent, just crickets and the distant hum of a TV from a nearby house. Then came the sound. 3 sharp pops, gunfire. Neighbors later said it was over before they could even react. When police arrived, the front door was open and the living room lights were still on. Ada Mae Simmons-Jones lay on the floor beside the sofa. Her favorite throw blanket was on the armrest, her reading glasses on the table. A normal night until her daughter Riley Donaldson stepped inside. No warning, no shouting, just footsteps, then shots, one after another, and in another room, a 3-year-old girl, Ada Mae's granddaughter, woke to the noise. She didn't scream, she just whispered, "Grandma?" The responding officers described a quiet scene that didn't make sense. Ada Mae's body, the purse on the couch, not hers, but Riley's. Inside were her ID, credit cards, and a small bottle of perfume that still smelled faintly like lilac, but the gun was gone. Shell casings were scattered near the carpet. There were signs of no struggle, just a woman sitting, standing up, and falling. Police pieced it together quickly. Riley had come alone, driven from Ohio to Michigan that same night. After the shooting, she ran out, got into her black Chrysler 300, and disappeared into the dark. Inside, Ada Mae's mother-in-law held the crying child. She told police later, "I saw Riley's face as she left. She looked empty, like something had already died inside her." To understand this, you have to know who Ada Mae was. She wasn't just another name in a police report. She was known in her neighborhood as Mama Jones, the woman who'd help anyone, even when she barely had enough herself. She ran community dinners, volunteered at her church, and took in her granddaughter. When things got bad with Riley, she didn't want to take her daughter's child away, she wanted to protect her. But court documents show Riley had struggled for years emotionally, mentally. Friends said she was unpredictable. One moment calm, the next angry. Sometimes she'd call her mother in tears, apologizing for things she hadn't done yet. The custody dispute had torn them apart. In August, Ada Mae called 911, saying, "My daughter took the baby and drove to Ohio. I just want her safe." The baby was found. The dog wasn't. Ada Mae didn't press charges. "She's still my daughter," she told police. And that sentence would haunt her family forever. Police later said it wasn't an impulsive act. Riley packed a bag, filled her car with gas, and drove across to states. Her phone's GPS showed one stop, a convenience store, 40 miles from Southfield. She bought water and gum, then drove straight to her mother's house. Security cameras from a nearby home caught her headlights pulling in. A shadow moved across the front porch. Then darkness. 3 minutes later, the same car reversed down the driveway. Headlights off. Inside, Ada Mae's great-grandmother heard it all, the footsteps, the gunshots, the silence. She ran toward the hallway, but froze. She saw Riley walking out, face blank, gun in her hand. The little girl stood near the stairs, holding a stuffed toy. "Grandma fell," she whispered. The great-grandmother called her son. He called 911, but by the time help arrived, Ada Mae was gone. 2 days later, Southfield police tracked Riley's black Chrysler to Detroit. The same car, same license plate. When officers approached, she didn't run. Body cam footage shows her standing by the car, quiet. "Riley Donaldson?" one officer asked. She looked up. "God," she said. That one word silenced everyone, Chief Elvin Barron later explained. When someone calls themselves God, it means they think they decide who lives and who dies. When officers told her she was under arrest for first-degree murder, she simply said, "Okay." No tears, no questions, no fight. Back at Bainbridge Drive, Ada Mae's husband was surrounded by family and neighbors. He couldn't stop shaking. She was generous, he said. Even after everything, she never refused Riley a chance to see her daughter. Now, the home was silent. The laughter, the toys, the bedtime stories all gone. The 3-year-old was taken into protective care. One small child, suddenly, with no mother and no grandmother. How do you explain that to a child? That the person who gave you life took another's. The family tried to find peace, but every memory hurt. Ada Mae's birthday was supposed to be just days later. Instead of candles, there were flowers. Instead of songs, there were sirens. Psychologists say something in Riley broke long before that night. She believed her mother was trying to control her life, take her child, ruin her future. She stopped sleeping. She told people she was being followed, and in her notebook, found later in her car, one line was written over and over: "She thinks she's God, but I am." Police called the murder calculated, planned, but it was more than that. It was cold. She left behind her purse, maybe on purpose. She wanted to be caught. Chief Barron said, "This wasn't confusion. This was clarity twisted by delusion." She knew what she was doing, and yet, part of her still thought she was saving her daughter from something. Here's the part that breaks me. That 3-year-old girl saw everything. Police confirmed she was awake. She stood at the end of the hallway, clutching a blanket. She didn't cry. She didn't run. She just watched. After the shooting, she told a child therapist something no one expected. "Mommy said Grandma was sleeping forever." Can you imagine hearing that from a child? Her words so small, so innocent, but carrying the weight of a tragedy she'll never understand. And when they asked her what Mommy did after, she said, she smiled. After the arrest, neighbors left candles and flowers on the porch. Handwritten notes read, "You didn't deserve this, Ada." Another one said, "You tried to help her, and she took you away." Reporters gathered outside the courthouse when Riley made her first appearance. She wore a gray jumpsuit, her hair pulled back, eyes blank. When the judge read the charge, first-degree premeditated murder, she didn't flinch. She only asked one thing: "Can I see my daughter?" The room fell silent. Chief Barron said later, "This could have been a mystery forever. But our officers worked non-stop. The family deserved justice. Justice. But can there be justice for something like this?" Ada Mae was laid to rest beside her late mother. The family played her favorite song, "His Eye is on the Sparrow." Her husband said through tears, she loved her daughter. Even now, I think she'd forgive her. And that's what hurts the most. The love didn't die that night. It just got buried under pain. The little girl is now staying with family, safe, but changed. She still asks for her mom sometimes. And when she sees photos of her grandmother, she says, she's with the stars now. Weeks after the murder, detectives processed Riley's car again. Inside a hidden compartment in the trunk, they found something that made them pause. A second phone. It wasn't registered to Riley. It belonged to Ada Mae. On it were voicemail recordings, messages from Riley, days before the shooting. One said, "You'll see soon. I'm doing what you couldn't." Another said, "We can't both be her mother." And the final message, time-stamped just hours before the murder, said only 4 words, "I'm coming home." God. When detectives replayed it, they realized the call had been answered. Ada Mae had listened, and the sound in the background was the child's voice saying softly, "Mommy." That call happened minutes before the shots. So now, one question remains. Was Riley driven by jealousy, madness, or something deeper? A belief that her mother had to go for her to feel free? Or was she trying to become what she thought her mother was? The protector, the savior, the God of her daughter's world? We may never know. What we do know is this: a child lost everything that night. And the echo of that gunfire still hangs in that quiet Southfield neighborhood. Some say you can still hear it when the night is still. Others say they see a light in the window where Ada Mae used to sit. But maybe it's just the memory of a mother who never stopped loving, even when love became the reason she died. If you made it this far, please subscribe. Not just for more true stories, but to remember the names that deserve to be heard. And tell me in the comments what could have saved Ada Mae. Could love ever be enough to stop something like this? Because tonight, somewhere in Michigan, a girl is sleeping without her mother, and without her grandmother, and maybe one day, she'll ask what really happened that night. What then can we tell her then?